Hey guys, and welcome to another week of the Fantasy Forum. It is week 8. My name is Jeremy, and let's get right into it. First of all, I want to congratulate the Indians. All right, go Tribe! They are in the World Series. It is about time. I've been waiting for this since 1997. As you guys know, I am the die-hard Cleveland fan, and it is so amazing to see our teams doing so well. The Cavs on Tuesday night, they're gonna be doing their home opener, the first game of the season, and it's against the Knicks. But we're gonna be getting doing the ring ceremony and putting up the banner and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be really exciting to see that. And to top it all off, the Indians start the World Series on Tuesday night in Cleveland. So Cleveland's going to be rocking. It's going to be a crazy time there. I'd love to go to a game maybe during the week the weekend and a part of the week I'm there. I don't know what you guys are doing. Maybe we can hook up and maybe catch a game up there if we just hang out. We don't have to go to the game. We could just go outside like you guys. I think you guys have done that before. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. Just to root on the Tribe, and man, I'm so worried but excited at the same time because it just feels like the Cubs year. Like everything seems destined for them to win. I don't know. We'll have to see. But the Indians have proven they can play with the best. So we'll have to just take it one game at a time, and hopefully they can pull it out. It's kind of I feel a little bit like it's reminiscent of the Cavs playoff, like where they just dominated everybody in in the they dominated. They didn't have a hard time getting into the finals like they usually do, but they played Toronto in the conference finals just like we played the Blue Jays in the ALCS. And was Boston part of that? We played Detroit. I think we played Atlanta. No, we played Boston last year. So, but Boston was definitely a part of it. It would have been funny if we would have played Boston too, but just some weird correlations there. And we're going to be playing Chicago, but that has nothing to do with Golden State, so maybe not. But we'll see how it goes. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I'm going to be watching both the basketball and the baseball game together. So yeah. Besides that, basketball starts tonight. And that's another topic. We have, I think, 3 games going on tonight. Cavs and Knicks. I want to say Golden State and San Antonio, which I can't believe they made it the first game of the season. I mean, I think it's nice, it's cool, but at the same time, you want to see both those teams maybe go on like a 10-game winning streak and then play each other, and it's a lot more hyped up then, I think. But yeah. Also, I watched Mr. Sports, the Mr. Sports show. Very well done. I really enjoyed the commentary. The other kid on there, I think his name was Josh, I want to say. He did a really good job too. For being as young as he is, he seems like he's just out of high school. So I really enjoyed it, and I think Scott and Andy did a really good job. I know they might say different, but I mean, I know any of us would be a little bit nervous in that scenario and all that, and I really do think they put their input, they got their input in, and they did a really nice job with it. So I applaud you guys, and I agreed with most of what they said. A couple things I just thought was way off track. Everything about the Indians was pretty spot on. Basketball, I was the whole Warriors the whole Warriors thing where they're gonna have bad chemistry. A lot of people are saying this too. Like I guess I'm in the minority here, but I don't see how the Warriors could be worse than last year. Is what I'm saying. The people are saying they're gonna have chemistry issues and all this other stuff. Like they're kind of comparing it to the Miami Heat, but you have to understand you had so many additions to that team. LeBron came to Miami. Chris Bosh came to Miami. I think there were a couple other additions, like Mike Miller. I'm pretty sure didn't play there until that year. So their whole team was different. Here you have your main big three still together. That's the most important cohesive fact of it. And you're just replacing Harrison Barnes with Kevin Durant, which is a huge upgrade. And everybody's like, oh, chemistry issues. I don't know. Kevin Durant's going to want his shots and all that. I don't see it that way. I see it as somebody who's just going to spread the floor for you. You're never going to have a bad shooter on the floor. I don't think all four of those guys are going to have a bad night, like, all together. And even if they do, they have a decent bench, too, that could maybe pick up the slack for them. So, it's just, I don't see them losing a game. I don't know when they'll lose a game. They could lose tonight against the Spurs, for all I know. But, I mean, besides that, what they did in the preseason and how they're looking, I don't see them, losing more than 10 games. I really don't. I don't know about 73-9, but I think they should be close to 70 wins again this year. So for people who are saying that their chemistry is going to be bad and all that, I don't see it. I really don't. The only other big differences they made is they replaced Andrew Bogut with Zaza Pachulia, which they lose a little bit of defensive presence underneath, but they gain the offensive presence. And Zaza is probably a little bit better of an offensive rebounder too. So they might just get more opportunities that way. And Golden State, mostly they want to outscore you. They do play great defense too. That doesn't seem like that's their first, main thing that they want to do. But they have the defensive pieces. They have the length of guys. So I just don't see them being as bad as people are making it out to be. I think they're going to be phenomenal. I don't see them losing the finals either. If the Cavs make it again this year, it's going to be a little harder for the Cavs, but I think we'll be able to make it without any. Everybody's saying Boston is their big competition this year. I think it's going to be Indiana. I think they are gonna have some chemistry issues in the beginning. You have the additions of Al Jefferson, Jeff Teague. I'm missing somebody. Thaddeus Young. Yeah. So you have all those additions in your starting lineup. Well, Al Jefferson might not start, but still. But I think as the season goes on, they're going to go on a tear. They're going to be a tough matchup for us. They always seem to be kind of a tough matchup, but now they're going to be really... I don't want to see them in the finals or in the playoffs. Hopefully we don't have to. But I think that's going to be a big challenge for our team. And... yeah, I think the third matchup, Portland. It's Portland and Utah. That's the third matchup. Probably the weakest of the three. Utah, people are their power ranking. They were like 9th or 8th, or they were somewhere up there on ESPN's power rankings. I was really surprised by that. I don't see, what did they do what have they done different? They weren't a playoff team last year. I mean, they were close, but they didn't make the playoffs last year. You have Minnesota, who's going to get way better with the addition of Chris Dunn, and they have so many pieces on that team. Karl Anthony Towns is just going to get better. Andrew Wiggins, as you know, should be stepping up this year. So yeah, I see them battling for a playoff position. Nobody else really lost anything. You can kind of make an argument for the Spurs and losing Tim Duncan, but they kind of replaced him with Pau Gasol, so that's not really an issue. I just don't see Utah as a playoff team this year, and they had them like ranked 9th. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing something that they are, especially with Gordon Hayward and Alec Burks both out right now. I don't see them doing very well at least in the beginning of the season. So we'll just have to see. Anyways, I'm gonna do a little bit different, something different this week. I want to let me see something here. I want to, like I discussed last week, I want to go through the draft recap, and I want to see what players are, who went on what team. By the way, my team laid an egg this week. I knew I wasn't going to beat Rob, but it would have been nice to at least been competitive. But LeSean McCoy, he was in, he was out, he was in. So I went with my gut and played him because he kept saying, "Oh, it's just a little twinge. It's nothing big," and it was something big because he didn't perform well at all. He only got me 1 point. Cameron Meredith only got me 2 points. My only bright spot was Randall Cobb, and that was it. Even Matt Ryan, he had his worst week. Of course, the first week I play him, he has his worst week. That's just how it goes. And Phillip Rivers didn't do much better anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. I had a lot of decent guys on my bench, but it would have got me maybe to 100 points instead of like the 7 or the 80 some. Probably more like 110. But I still wouldn't have come nowhere near beating Rob. So yeah. Let me oh, I also want to do something else this week. We are going to spin the wheel. I brought up a little wheel here. Let me okay. Let me share my screen with you. And whoever the wheel lands on, I'm gonna have a little surprise for them. So, yeah, you probably want to see my face, my beautiful, shining face. Let me see. So, as you see, I have everybody's name on here, and for whoever gets it, I'm going to do something a little special for them. So, let me spin the wheel here. Oh, man. Can't get it. Can't seem to get it. Oh, it happened to land on Brandon. How awesome is that? So, Brandon, you get the surprise for this week. We're going to rename my team in your honor. So, every week I'm going to do this, and if you guys want to put some input on what I should name the teams or how I should do it, how we'll try to have some fun with this. So since this is the first week, I guess I'm just gonna have to come up with it myself. Um, let me think. What could I name my team? I'll think about it. I'll think about it, and we'll come back to it. We'll keep you guys in suspense. So, anyways, I'm gonna go to the league board, and this week we have the good old Mr. Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins. That's a pretty cool looking cartoon there. As you can see, he's got some kind of smoke coming out of him. His hands are hot or something. He's got the hot gloves. No big trades. This is the last week for trades. The trade deadline is Thursday in a couple days, so everybody get your trades in. I know I'm still kind of looking to deal Matt Ryan, since everybody seems to want him. If anybody wants to make a trade, I'm open to it. Definitely open to a trade. Also I have 4 pretty decent wide receivers, so that's pretty much what I'm looking to do, is like Matt Ryan and Golden Tate or Matt Ryan, and I don't really want to get rid of Randall Cobb or Emmanuel Sanders, so I guess Cameron Meredith would be the other guy if you're looking for that. I know Jay Cutler's coming back this week, so their wide receivers should do better with him. Although it is Jay Cutler, we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna go to draft recap. I hope you guys enjoy this, because I kind of wanted to do something different. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can... Oh, I have a text message. Sorry. Give me a minute. Okay. Oh, all right. We'll look at this. Let me check one more thing. Okay. All right. So in round 1, let me just make sure you guys can see this pretty well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. So in round 1, of course, Adrian Peterson was probably the weakest of all these, as he's going to be out for the season. I don't know if you guys really want me to count that. Todd Gurley was a big disappointment. Gronkowski's doing better, as he was hurt for the first few weeks. But yeah, I'm not sure if we can count him. DeAndre Hopkins, no. AJ Green has been up and down. He has a couple bad weeks in between some really amazing weeks. Dez Bryant would be another one that you could say is a big disappointment. Lamar Miller, a lot worse. Out of all these guys, same with Odell Beckham. Kind of up and down. So I would say Antonio Brown, Julio Jones. Ooh. Julio has been the best wide receiver, but he has those 2 duds in there. He could be doing so much better, and the touchdowns are there, but they're like not... I don't know. David Johnson, I think you have to make the argument for David Johnson, because his worst week is a 14-point performance. Besides that, he's been tearing up the fantasy world. And he gets so many attempts. Ezekiel Elliott has been a dominant. As you can see, the rushing yards are just incredible. So it's kind of a tie between those two guys and Julio Jones. I'm not gonna quite give him. So I guess the best. I'm gonna say David Johnson in this one. They did have him ranked #1 in a lot of ESPN polls and stuff like that. So I think I'd give this to David Johnson. So Johnny got the best guy out of the first round. They do say man, Rob built his team on two of the three best guys in this draft. So good on you, Rob. That was really smart of you. Le'Veon Bell, he's been doing well, but still doesn't have the touchdowns. Freeman, he has his good moments and his bad moments. Hey, baby doll. Ingram and Lacey, both not good. Alshon Jeffrey, Jamal Charles. Man, not much here. Mike Evans is probably by far the best. Mike Evans or LaShawn McCoy. Of course, LaShawn McCoy got hurt this past week. But, yeah, you would make the argument for either LaShawn McCoy, who I traded for. I gave away Brandon Marshall, he's up and down this season. But Mike Evans has been really tearing up, especially with the touchdowns. So I think I'm just gonna have to say Mike Evans based on I mean, Doug Martin, Jordan Nelson, yeah, all these guys have been doing kind of bad, actually. The only really good ones in here are LaShawn McCoy and Mike Evans. And you could make a case, no, not really, for Allen Robinson. He hasn't been living up to his 16th pick. And Freeman, he's on both ends of that, too. So, I'm going to give that one to Mike Evans. That would be on TJ's team. And LaShawn McCoy is a very close second. So, I have him, of course. Brandon traded him to me. All right, in the third round, the top two guys in the third round are hurt, of course. So, we definitely can't consider them. This is where the first quarterback was taken, and Cam Newton, who is hasn't been doing well. Hasn't been doing Cam Newton-esque, as we want to say. Amari Cooper has been up and down this season. Oh, Cody, I don't want to play right now. I can't play right now. I'm doing my league, doing my fantasy league. You gotta bother me now. You gotta go potty? Alright, I gotta take her potty. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, CJ Anderson finally had a decent game again last night, but still only 18 point, nothing special. He's getting some touchdowns, but yeah, he's been a big disappointment as well. Demaryius Thomas, you can make a case for him. Brandon Cooks, same with him, kind of up and down. Jarvis Landry might be the best pick in this one, especially with PPR. Carlos Hyde, you could have made an argument for him, but he got hurt and had 2 games where he only got 5 points. Julian Edelman has been a big disappointment so far. Doug Baldwin, kind of iffy. And Latavius Murray, I mean, you can make a case for Latavius Murray, too. He's getting the touchdowns. He's not getting the yards though. I think I'll have to go with Jarvis Landry in this round, based on yeah, everybody else is kind of. I mean, they're doing decent, but I would say Jarvis Landry here. And again, I want you guys, comment on me, call me out, um, see who I, should have picked instead if you guys don't agree. Excuse me. In the 4th round, Matt Forte has only had those 2 big games, where they gave him 30 carries, but besides that, nothing. First game he was pretty good too. Jonathan Stewart, I wouldn't consider him. He had a decent game last week, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of him. Kelvin Benjamin has been pretty good. He missed out on that 1 game, but he's been pretty solid. Macklin hasn't been doing well this year at all. T.Y. Hilton has been tearing up the league. I'm pretty sure I will go with T.Y. Hilton. Oh, no. DeMarco. God, he did take DeMarco Murray in the 4th round. Man. I will definitely have to go with DeMarco Murray here, because he's doing incredible for Scott's team. So everybody has kind of joined in. Nobody has like that standout. Rico kind of lucked out, not lucked out, but did really well drafting those 2 wide receivers there. Jeremy Hill, he had that great. He's just a banger, boomer bust player. He never can be consistent, it seems. Aaron Rodgers, he finally had a good game last week, but he just hasn't been himself. I don't know what it is. Eric Decker, of course, is hurt. Jeremy Langford is hurt. He might be coming back soon, though. And Randall Cobb, I mean, he started out bad, but has been playing awesome since. So I can't really say he's better than those. So this one would definitely be either DeMarco Murray or T.Y. Hilton. I will say DeMarco Murray because it's hard to find a running back in the 4th round that can give you great production like he has been. So Scott really got a great pick there. And also, you can definitely make a case for T.Y. Hilton, so I definitely put him at a close second. Round 5. Ryan Matthews, not really doing much. Averaging under 10 points. Danny Woodhead, of course, got hurt. You could make a case for Jordan Reed. He was doing well for a tight end. He's still ranked 5th after missing 2 games. So you could definitely make a case for him. You have Golden Tate. You can't really consider Golden Tate. He's been doing bad. He's had a decent last couple weeks. Emmanuel Sanders, kind of fallen off a little bit. So, of course, Arian Foster just retired. Dion Lewis hasn't played. Moncrief hasn't played. Oh, this is easy now that I just saw who's here. Melvin Gordon, who's ranked number 3 as a running back. Man, he has been gobbling up touchdowns left and right. He doesn't get the yards. He has 1 game over 100 yards. But he helps out in the passing game. With Danny Woodhead gone, he's the only guy there, and he's definitely been tearing it up for Rob. So definitely that round goes to Melvin Gordon without question. Round 6. Russell Wilson hasn't been living up to his hype at all. I know he's been hurt, so we'll see if he can come back. Matt Jones has been, he's been wishy-washy. He's been good and he's been bad, but not a bad guy to find in this round. Frank Gore, he just Mr. Consistency. He just keeps plugging away. John Brown has been doing good. Greg Olsen is probably the guy to pick here. He's by far the #1 tight end. With Gronk being hurt and all that. Delaney Walker, he hasn't been as good as Greg Olsen for sure. Larry Fitz was a big pick here too. He's been doing really well. Man, he keeps doing work too. Him and Frank Gore were big veteran guys here that just are all about consistency. But Greg Olsen, by far, was the best pick here. He's the #1 tight end. He's putting up crazy fantasy stats. Not many touchdowns, though, but he's still doing well without the touchdowns. Around 7, then. Maybe I should say the biggest disappointments here, too. I don't know if we have time for that, though. Abdallah got hurt. Yeldon hasn't been doing anything at all. Bernard, he's in that timeshare, or else he would be one of the best running backs in the league, I think. Josh Gordon, of course, with his stupid hiatus. Eifert finally came back, but, of course, Marvin Jones is a big contender here. He's been doing awesome. The last couple weeks haven't been great. But he's still putting up consistent stats for around 7 guy. Of course, D'Angelo Williams is awesome when he plays, but that doesn't happen. Charles Sims started out okay, not really good though. Bly Powell is a good, serviceable guy. You can make the case for Andrew Luck here, but he was the 3rd or 4th QB taken off the board, so it's not like he got him at a great value. He's just one of the better quarterbacks still left on the board, because I think you just had Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Cam Newton. I think those are the only quarterbacks that were taken so far. So yeah, I would just say that I think I want to say Michael Crabtree here. I know Marvin Jones is right behind him, but Michael Crabtree has looked awesome. He has one bad game, and I highly regret not taking him here. I really wanted a Cleveland player, and I saw Josh Gordon, and I knew he was coming back. Silly me. So yeah, that was one of my biggest regrets of this draft, is because I was looking at him or Crabtree. I remember that. I was looking at him or Crabtree, and I really thought Josh Gordon would be the big guy to come back. So you live and you learn, but and Kelsey, yeah, Kelsey has been okay this year. Probably should be a little better for where he got him as a tight end. So I'm definitely going to say Crabtree, and you could make a case for Andrew Luck. But like I said, QBs are a little different, because he did get him 4th overall as a QB. And he's ranked 2nd. So, I mean, it's not like he jumped huge, where Michael Crabtree was like probably the 60th wide receiver, or probably not 60th, but like 30th wide receiver, and he's ranked 7th. So, yeah, I would have to say Crabtree there. In round 8, Kevin White got hurt. Drew Brees again. He's your number 3 quarterback, but he was the 5th quarterback taken, so I'm not sure if I'd pick him. Barnidge hasn't really done nearly as well as last year. Shepard had a strong start, but hasn't done anything since. Riddick, besides those 2 big games, he hasn't done much. But that's what you're going to get with a round 8 running back. Lockett, nothing big. Derrick Henry is a backup. Ben Roethlisberger got hurt. You might make a case for a Jaje or whatever his name is. Of course, Forsett got released and now plays for Detroit, but isn't doing anything. Corey Coleman too. Also, you could have made a case for him if he wouldn't have got hurt. He would have probably done a lot better in this case, but you can't really count him. And LaMarcus Blount. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with LaMarcus Blount. I don't really like him as a player. I don't really care for him, but you can't argue with the stats. He has 3 games of over 100 yards. He has, oh God, how many touchdowns? He has 8 rushing touchdowns. That's huge for a team. So to find him in round 8, yeah. And you might make a case for a Jaje here, a J.I. I don't know how to say his name, but he, in the last 2 games, oh my God, 200 yards rushing in 2 games in a row. I mean, wow, that is gonna win a lot of fantasy games for Brandon if his team shows up for the rest of the season. So that was a big pick. Of course, I'm not sure how he ended up with a Jaje, to be honest, because TJ drafted him. Yeah, I'm not too sure. It'd be interesting to look back. So I'm gonna go with Blount on that in that round 8. But I think for Jay, you might make a case for him in a few weeks for the value pick. Round 9 was the round of quarterbacks. As you can see, Brady, Palmer, Rivers, Eli all went. Again, I don't think I can really count quarterbacks because of, like, of course, Tom Brady was pretty big here, but he missed those first 4 weeks. And then, I mean, you have a good quarterback now, but he's still going to have another bye week. But he's going to do good for your team for sure. But he's still taken 6th or 7th as a quarterback. Like Phillip Rivers is doing about where he was picked. Carson Palmer has been doing worse than what he was picked. Shane Vereen got hurt, of course. Allen Hurns hasn't been doing much here, but he's still averaging more than 10 points. Futches, who I was high on in the beginning of the season, is doing awful. He's not even owned by a team. So, Vincent Jackson, oh, he got hurt. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so he's not doing well. Eli's been really up and down this season. Willie Snead, he's had some big games. Isaiah Crowell might be, he's ranked 15th as a running back. He's been doing pretty well. He's been up and down, but you expect that in this 9th round as of running back. Zach Ertz, I'm not even sure why he's still owned. He hasn't been doing anything. And Stephon Diggs, I'm really, really high on him, and I think he'll start doing better here. And if he wouldn't have got hurt, he had those 2 games. So I would say Crowell would be the number 1 guy here. Tom Brady, you can make a case because he got picked so late. You could definitely make a case for Brady there, but I would say Crowell and Diggs are kind of the big picks here. Yeah, I'm gonna say Crowell. I didn't really see him doing this well. Round 10, of course, our first kicker got taken, and he's ranked 19th right now. So that was a big kind of, I don't know. You can't really take a kicker that early. And our first defense was also taken. The Broncos D, who are ranked 4th right now. Yeah, they're gonna get you some good points, 10 points a game. So that was a good pick there. Torrey Smith has been doing nothing. James Starks, of course. Tavon Austin has been serviceable. He always seems to be kind of in the mix, out of the mix. But I mean, he's doing well in that offense. Julius Thomas, not really doing much. Tevin Coleman, he's doing well for a backup. I mean, he has, good receiving numbers. He's a two-way player on that team. Travis Benjamin, you could kind of make a case for. He's ranked in the top 30. Round 10 guy there. Jerick McKinnon, I handcuffed him, and he hasn't been performing well. Blake Bortles, Kamar Allen, and the Seahawks D. I think you got to go with Tevin Coleman here. Again, it's really hard to find running backs in the last rounds, and he has been doing really well as a backup. He only has 2 kind of dud games. So yeah, I would definitely go with Tevin Coleman there. And Travis Benjamin and Tavon Austin are kind of in the mix there too. Round 11, Antonio Gates, who was hurt, not doing much. Panthers D has been awful this season. They're actually not even owned right now. And they play Arizona next week. Jimmy Graham, he's having a little bit of a bounce back season here. You might make a case for him. Martellus Bennett, who I took. He's not really getting the receptions. He got the 3 touchdowns there in that big game. He's had a few big games, and then he's had some bad games in between. But he is pre-ranked 2nd as a tight end. So, I mean, this is kind of based on, you got to look more at average, where she's averaging 12, which isn't bad. So, to find a tight end that late, I mean, I would say he's up there. Cardinals D, of course, is doing really well. Mike Wallace, I might make a case for Mike Wallace too. Ranked 14th, finding him this late. DeAndre Washington, yeah, this is where I don't know much about, Tyrod Taylor has been kind of up and down. Not the best, but Terrence West was a big find too in this round. Of course, Tony Romo hasn't played, and Darren Sproles. So, I would definitely say Mike Wallace in this round was the big find, and Martellus Bennett is a close second. Jimmy Graham, you might see in later weeks he'll step up and be bigger in this scenario, but Terrence West was a good find too, but he's had a couple good games, not very consistent. So Mike Wallace and Martellus Bennett. Round 12, Chris Hogan wasn't a bad pick, but he's not really working out in New England. I would have definitely thought he would have. Devontae Booker finally had his first good game last week. Yeah, he keeps cutting into C.J. Anderson's carries. He might, whoever has him, I think Johnny does. I would hold on to him. He looks like he might do well. The Texans D got taken here, which they're not doing too well without what's his name? J.J. Watt. Ooh, Jason Witten not doing anything special. You can make a case for Steve Smith. He did get hurt though, but he was doing well when he was on the field. Wheaton hasn't been doing anything. Mariota, you might make a case for Mariota because all these quarterbacks got taken over him, and he's ranked 9th right now. And of course, Michael Thomas maybe. Yeah, definitely Michael Thomas is the best guy here. I didn't see him doing all this. He only has one game under 10 points. He's averaging almost 16 points a game. Definitely the best pick in round 12 was Michael Thomas. Yeah, by far. Who's he owned by? Oh, Brandon still has him. Okay. I wasn't sure about that. You can make a case for Marcus Mariota here. Maybe even Derek Carr because he's ranked 7th, but he hasn't been doing well the last few games. And round 13, these are pretty much going to be kicker slash defense kind of things. Justin Tucker is always up there as a fantasy kicker. I took the Chiefs D, which they haven't been bad. They were 8th. They're ranked 8th right now. Vinatieri is number 1 though. I would have to say Vinatieri here. God, look at those numbers. He has not missed a field goal. He is on fire. And Christine Michael was drafted here, and he's got that. That was kind of like by default, though. So I don't know if I can really count. I mean, you probably saw a lot of potential in him. Me saying that, I'm talking to Rob. I would have to say Adam Vinatieri or you can make a case for Christine Michael there, of course. He's a running back you got way late. That's helping your team. I don't know why anybody would pick the Raiders D. Maybe because of their first week and they were playing New Orleans. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe you thought the Raiders had a good defense this year. And last round, Tajay Sharp hasn't been doing anything. McManus ranked 9th. Blair Walsh is ranked 23rd. Janikowski is ranked 6th with his 2 big games in the last few weeks. The Rams D 14th. The Bills D 6th. They just had a bad week. Knocked them down a lot. Oh, I don't really know who to pick here. There really aren't any big valuable picks. I think McManus is a good kicker to get in this round. I should have picked him over Blair Walsh, but I didn't. But I'm okay with the kicker I have now. You can make a case for the Rams defense, but they're not doing really well. I would say the Bills defense because they've been doing really solid as a team. To shut out New England, even though they had a backup quarterback, they still shut them out at home. That's pretty huge. Holding Arizona at 18, Baltimore to 13. Their only bad game, they gave up a lot of points to the Jets, and this game against Miami where they ran all over them. I would probably say the Bills D here. So definitely, Mr. Mack got the best valuable picks at those last 2 rounds with those guys, with those picks, and you can make a case for Devontae Booker there too. And who knows, maybe Tony Romo is going to come back and be awesome. So, anyways, that's gonna do it for my my draft recap. I think it's always fun to look at and see who got what where, and what trades were made and all that kind of stuff, and how they would do if they would have just kept their team as is. Let me see what time I'm at. 49. Okay. So again, now I'm just gonna like look at do my predictions for next week. Of course, there was that. TJ got that last second field goal to beat Scott last night. That was pretty exciting to watch as a fantasy enthusiast. So next week I'm going against Mr. Batch. It looks like right now he doesn't have a second wide receiver in. He has Antonio Brown on bye. That helps me a lot. And Kenny Britt. But I don't know if I'll have LaShawn McCoy. And Jerick McKinnon. I don't know how that's going to work. Right now they have me projected at 112. They have LaShawn McCoy projected at 16, so they're saying he's going to play, but I don't see that happening. So that's probably going to be a little less. Latavius Murray has come back, of course. Jaquise Rogers and LaMarcus Blount. He's got some hot running backs going right now. Jordy Nelson, of course, is going to want to come back. Zach Miller has been playing well. I think he's going to win just based on... He's got to get another wide receiver in there, but I think he has the advantage here. My team's kind of sputtering, so we'll say him by a few points. I said Rob would beat me by 40 when I was at work after I saw what Andrew Luck and Frank Gore were doing. I said, yeah, I'm going to be down by 40. But he actually beat me by 160 to 80, almost 80 points. Like 70 points. He beat me by 70 points. So yeah, that was funny by me. Oh, Odell Beckham is on bye. This is the matchup of Brandon and TJ. Ooh, good matchups. Brandon's got some decent guys going, and ooh, I don't know. TJ's been on a roll lately. I'm gonna go with Brandon here. Actually, I like his matchups there, and I think he can pull this one out. So I was gonna say Brandon by like 10. Then we have Scott and Rico. They both have only one player on bye. Scott has some good looking talent there. And of course you got pretty good looking guys besides the running backs. I'm going to have to go with Scott here. Excuse me. By a couple, maybe like 5 points there. And you have Rob against Blaine. Oh, the best friend matchup. Rob's team's going to destroy. I'm sorry, Blaine, but he has no bye week players this week. And you are rolling with some interesting guys, but seeing what his team did to me this past week, you're definitely looking at Rob's team to pick up a huge win here after what he did last week. Then you have Josh and John Francis. Josh had a nice bounce back win last week. He doesn't have a defense right now. His matchups are looking okay. And you're thinking Russell Wilson's got to come back sooner or later. Lamar Miller against Detroit. Forte. He's missing Le'Veon Bell, but he's missing some big players too. So I'm going to have to go with Francis here. I think his team has a little more firepower. Macklin and Jordan Matthews should come up eventually. So I say Francis by like 10 points there. And last but not least, you have Johnny and you have the McIntyres. You have Johnny against his dad, John. Man, projected totals are pretty bad. Oh, he's got the Ravens D and Justin Tucker on bye. Holy shit, he's got sorry. He's got Ravens D, Justin Tucker, Ben Roethlisberger, Devontae Parker, and Kamar Allen all on bye week. And he has no players on bye. So, I mean, he still has his good running backs. He's Ty Montgomery. Oh, he's a wide receiver and running back now. That's interesting. And he's going to play Devontae Booker. That's interesting. And, of course, he's got to pick up a D and a kicker to replace them guys. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Mr. Mack wins this one. I think Carolina has a lot to prove. I know David Johnson's the #1 running back, but I think Carolina, they're going to try to shut him down. He's got his running back and wide receiver going against Seattle. That's a bad matchup. Atlanta has been proven they can stop. Guys a little bit. Sometimes not. Got a backup running back going. A backup tight end who is playing okay, but it kind of depends on what he gets here. And Kirk Cousins, that's it. So I don't like his matchups. And I think Matt Jones is going to have a good bounce back game. Doug Baldwin and Crabtree have great matchups there. Zach Ertz, I think you need to change your tight end. Sanu has been doing okay as your flex. Of course, you got your two-headed monster with your defense and your kicker. And I think Freeman and Breeze. Breeze is the only one that doesn't have a favorable matchup. But based on matchups and his bye week players and all that, I think Mr. Mack can pull up the upset here. So I'm going to say Mr. Mack by 10. And I don't know about power rankings. I'm just going to kind of go with I think Rob is the #1 team at this point. You can make a case for TJ or Johnny or Rico at #2. I'm going to go Rob #1, Rico #2, TJ #3, Johnny #4, Scott #5. And then you got a bunch of 3 and 4s here. Francis #6, Brandon #7, Mr. Mack #8. I'm gonna go with Josh #9, Blaine 10, me 11, Mr. Batch 12. Although I feel like he's going to beat me this week, so maybe I should switch that. But overall, that's how I feel the power rankings are. The points against are really close. Look at that. All of us are within 4 points there. It's pretty interesting. Johnny by far has the most points against him, and he's 5-2. That's scary. I don't know why I'm not big on Johnny's team. But yeah, those are, Johnny has the most points against him, and Rico still has the least points against him. In points for, Rob is number 1 by a good margin. And Blaine has the least number of fantasy points. So, yeah, after looking at it, that's my rankings. And I still have to name my team. So, last but not least, we're going to name the team. And then I'm going to get out of here and go to the gym. So, what are we going to name my team? Something after Brandon. I was thinking about it. Something to do with Chloe. Hmm. Um. Hmm. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I gotta meet somebody at 3 o'clock. It's already 3:02, so I'm late. Um. All right, I'll be there soon. Okay. Um. I don't know. I don't know. This is maybe what's a bad idea. I don't know. I don't even know what to pick for a logo. Sure. Yeah. Okay. That's what we're gonna go with. I should probably do a better, oh, I don't know. Be medium models. I don't know. um, ah, that's funny. I'm getting some images of some, uh, that's funny. The hell? What? This is stupid. Come on, load. Um, oh, what was that one thing in that movie? The hell is that? Yeah. There we go. That might be good. I don't know. It's kind of stupid. Sure. We'll do this one. No, not that one. This one. Oh, come on. How? There we go. No, that's not what I wanted to do either. I forgot. I always forget how to do this stupid picture stuff. Alright, well anyways, I'm going to update that. I'm going to go. I'm going to let you guys go. But that's what I'm going to... You guys can see the surprise of the team. But I want to do this every week to see if you guys enjoy it or not. Probably not the person who I'm doing it to, but it's just for fun, you know, just something else to do. Anyways, go Tribe again. I hope we can do really well, and good luck to everybody next week. Good luck to everybody in basketball as well. Let's pray to somebody that I can get some kind of fantasy glory going again, but my team is looking mediocre compared to everybody else's, so I don't know. We'll just have to see. Alrighty. I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope to see you guys this weekend. We can get something going. Alrighty. Bye-bye, everybody.